The dose of creatine you're taking right now is probably wrong. Not harmful wrong, but ineffective wrong. Most people take 5 grams because that's what the label says. But research shows this one-size-fits-all approach is backwards for 70% of the population. We ranked 6 dosing methods by what peer-reviewed studies actually show. And the differences in muscle creatine saturation are 2 to 3 times larger than most people expect. Starting at number 6. Taking whatever's convenient. Sometimes 3 grams, sometimes 8, sometimes skipping days entirely. Your muscle creatine stores fluctuate like a broken thermostat. Creatine accumulation follows a saturation curve, and inconsistent dosing keeps you perpetually restarting the process. A 2003 study found sporadic creatine use produced 40% lower muscle concentrations compared to consistent daily intake, even when total doses were high. Number 5, the flat 5-gram approach. This is what 90% of supplement companies recommend, and it works for some people, which is exactly why it became the dangerous default. The 5-gram recommendation comes from studies on young college-age males weighing 70 to 80 kilograms. If that's not you, those results may not apply to your body. A 150-pound woman and a 200-pound man have completely different muscle mass and creatine storage capacity, yet both are told to take the same dose. Number 4. Micro-dosing based on fear. 1 to 2 grams daily because of safety concerns. And the intention is right, but the execution misses the target badly. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a garden hose that has a leak. You're adding water, but you're never gaining real depth. Studies using muscle biopsy show doses below 3 grams daily plateau at around 50 to 60% of maximum creatine storage. You get some benefit, but you're leaving real gains on the table. A 2025 meta-analysis found 0 significant changes in kidney markers at recommended doses. Microdosing isn't safer, it's just less effective. Number 3. The classic loading phase protocol. 20 grams daily for 5 to 7 days, split into 4 doses, then 3 to 5 grams for maintenance. The Harris study from 1992 showed this protocol increases muscle creatine by 20% in 6 days. Fast saturation with performance benefits showing up almost immediately. But loading phase side effects hit about 20% of users. Gastrointestinal distress, bloating, and rapid water weight gain that can be jarring if you're not expecting it. The Hultman study from 1996 proved definitively you end up at the same muscle creatine levels whether you load or not. Loading gets you there faster, but there is the same place. Number 2. Steady-state optimization using the body weight formula. This approach skips loading entirely and uses the ISSN recommended maintenance dose directly. For a 70-kilogram person, that's 7 grams. For a 90-kilogram person, that's 9 grams. The dose scales with your actual muscle mass and creatine storage capacity. Body weight-based dosing produced more consistent muscle creatine saturation across different populations. You reach the same saturation point in about 4 weeks with 0 GI issues. But even the body weight formula assumes something that isn't true for 30% of the population. And this is the dirty secret of creatine research. Pause. Number 1. Genetic response profiling. The dirty secret of creatine research is that 30% of people are genetically programmed to be non-responders. 3 genetic factors determine your creatine response. First, baseline muscle creatine levels. Some people naturally store more creatine, and if you're already near the ceiling, supplementation barely moves the needle. Second, muscle fiber composition. The Siratuic 2004 study found creatine responders had 47% type 2 fast twitch fibers compared to 37% in non-responders. Third, creatine transporter genetics. Genetic variations in the proteins that move creatine from your bloodstream into muscle tissue can reduce uptake efficiency by up to 60%. Here's how to figure out if you're a genetic responder. Take the body weight dose for 6 weeks, and if you don't notice improved power output, faster recovery, or increased training volume, you're likely a non-responder. Some non-responders benefit from higher doses up to 0.15 grams per kilogram, or specific timing strategies with carbohydrates, but about 10% simply won't respond no matter what they do. Here's the pattern. The methods that work best are the ones that acknowledge individual biology. If 30% are non-responders and another 40% take the wrong dose, only 3 out of 10 people get optimal results. The actionable takeaway is simple. Start with the body weight calculation, 0.1 grams per kilogram daily for 6 weeks, and track your performance metrics precisely. If you see clear improvements at 6 weeks, you're a responder, and that's your optimal dose. If you see nothing, try 0.15 grams per kilogram for another month before concluding you're a non-responder. If you've escalated and still see nothing after 10 weeks total, you're likely a genetic non-responder, and creatine may honestly not be worth the cost for your specific biology. But here's what we haven't talked about yet. Even if you nail the perfect dose, timing it wrong can cut your benefits in half. The research on creatine timing is completely different from what most people think. Every strategy in this ranking, from the body weight formula to genetic response testing, only reaches its full potential when timing is dialed in. That's exactly what we cover next.